Once upon a time, a little brother and sister lived with their cruel stepmother who starved and mistreated them. One day, the brother said, "We cannot endure this anymore. Let us run away into the wide world." The siblings journeyed together, finding solace in each other's company. They walked for hours through fields and woods until they came upon a large forest where they slept in a hollow tree. The next morning, the brother was thirsty and sought a brook to drink from. Unbeknownst to them, their stepmother, a wicked witch, had bewitched all the streams in the forest. As they approached the first brook, the sister heard it whisper, "Who drinks of me will become a tiger." Frightened, she stopped her brother and they moved on. At the next brook, she heard, "Who drinks of me will become a wolf." Again, she stopped him. By the time they reached the third brook, the brother, parched with thirst, ignored her warnings. He drank from the brook, and instantly he transformed into a Roebuck. The sister wept bitterly, but vowed never to leave him. She tied a golden garter around his neck, fashioned a leash from rushes, and led him deeper into the forest. There, they found a small, abandoned house where they decided to live. Each day, the sister gathered roots, berries, and nuts, while the Roebuck stayed by her side. At night, she rested her head on his back, and they found comfort in each other. One day, the king of the land organized a hunt in the forest. The Roebuck, hearing the sound of horns and hounds, begged his sister to let him join the hunt. Reluctantly, she agreed, but warned him to return by evening and use a secret phrase to be let back inside. The Roebuck joyfully ran into the forest. The hunters marveled at the creature with its golden color and pursued it, but it eluded them. That night, the Roebuck returned safely and the sister tended to him lovingly. The next day, the hunt resumed, and despite her fears, the sister allowed him to leave again. This time, the hunters wounded him slightly and tracked him to the cottage. Overhearing the secret phrase, they reported back to the king, who decided to investigate himself. The following evening, the king knocked on the door and repeated the phrase. When the sister opened the door, she was shocked to find a man wearing a golden crown. The king, captivated by her beauty, asked her to come to his palace and be his queen. She agreed, but only if the Roebuck could come with her. The king promised that the Roebuck would be cared for and brought them both to the palace. The queen and the king lived happily, and the Roebuck roamed freely in the royal garden. However, the wicked stepmother learned of their happiness and grew envious. She and her one-eyed daughter devised a plan to destroy the queen. One day, when the king was away hunting, the stepmother disguised herself as a maid and convinced the queen to take a bath. Once inside, the stepmother locked the door and lit a fire beneath the bath, suffocating the young queen. The stepmother then placed her own on the queen's bed, disguising her with magic but unable to restore her lost eye. The king returned, eager to see his wife and newborn son, but the stepmother warned him not to disturb her. At night, the true queen appeared as a ghost, tending to her baby and stroking the Roebuck. This happened for several nights until the nurse told the king. On the final night, the king confronted the ghost, crying, "You must be my dear wife." At his words, the queen came back to life, restored by God's grace. The queen revealed the stepmother's treachery. The king ordered the stepmother and her daughter to face justice. The daughter was torn apart by wild beasts in the forest, and the stepmother was burned at the stake. As the witch perished, the Roebuck transformed back into the brother's human form. The siblings and the king lived happily ever after, their bond stronger than ever.